right, welcome to the third review of the evening. Up this time is a game called Reason Casual Puzzle. Um, Reason Casual Puzzle is a thinking game in which the objective is to push the boxes to marked places. The difficulty of the game is in the fact that you can push the boxes, but you can't pull them. Not to mention that they can fall in the void of space. Okay, so that's a bit of a long-winded way of saying that this is Sokoban, or Boxel. Um, Pretty sure we've talked about Sokoban, maybe not as a topic of discussion, but it's certainly come up both on the main show and here because, Boxel is still a solid foundation for a puzzle game.
Hmm.
Um, And indeed, this game seems to be only on the Nintendo Switch from what I've seen. So over to the Galax.
So yeah, you have nice soothing music. You got really um slick graphics, I guess I would say. They're kind of minimalistic, but there's enough stylization there that there's a thing. But yeah, these are they're all block pushing puzzles. They are generally pretty tight and also pretty hard. Um like there are always exactly the right number of target spots for the number of cubes you have. It keeps track of your time and number. Like, I don't think it grades you on your time and number of moves, but you're thinking about your time and your number of moves. And if you generally, there will be a lot of ways to mess up that there's not any fixing aside from starting the puzzle over. There's a lot of like one or two space wide passages that you need to maneuver multiple blocks through. Um, I barely. It's divided into like planets or something. The first one is 10 levels. The second one is 20 levels, and then it goes on from there. I didn't notice anything significant change between the first two, but uh, there are quite a few puzzles I did not get past fairly early in the second zone because a lot of these puzzles take a lot of thinking, and again, if you mess up, either because you like fat finger the control pad or something, or because you make a mistake, generally you're gonna have to start over because there's usually not enough room to get back around the other side of the box to push it the other way. Um, so yeah, the difficulty is in that you can't pull them. Um, I don't I didn't get any impressions of there being any kind of story. Oh, yes, and you will also have to run all the way around the map to get to the right direction to push from. A lot.
Almost like it's Sokoban or something.
So if you like that kind of puzzle game and the aesthetic is pleasing to you, I'd say it's a pretty decent thing. But it's definitely the kind of game that like actually teases your brain a bit. Do you guys have any questions or anything for me to go off of?
I mean, not really. It's a pretty simple puzzle game.
Like, aside from the color changing a little bit more, I didn't notice any significant changes between the first block of stages and the second block.
I mean, if I'm being honest here, this is pretty straightforward Sokoban. Like,
Yeah, again, it's the original Sokoban. You were dealing with more warehouse-like spaces, I think, most of the time. This
right.
is very tight platformers. Honestly, I never felt like there was a chance of me pushing things off the edge by accident, but there was a lot of me pushing things off the edge on purpose to reset like there is a reset button, but you can if you push any block over it resets the puzzle. And sometimes when I accidentally did the wrong thing, that was like easier.
Does it like try and have any resistance if you're starting to push something off, or is it just go?
It's not any harder than any of the other pushing.
Mm.
Again, it's not like I had like a significant problem with fat fingering.
Yeah.
And certainly no more than I do in any other game.
Yeah, it was just one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of those types of games, they'll actually try and stop you a bit from, yeeting something off into the void of space.
Also, it does this thing where sometimes there'll be a puzzle where some of the blocks start on the end stages, but then sometimes you also have to push them off to get them where they need to go. Or to get the other blocks where they need to go and then get them back on or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it from me, so... Anybody else got any more questions?
Once
I
again,
don't.
not really. I mean, it's once again.
There's really not much to talk about block pushing. Like, if it did drastically different aesthetic things throughout, like the background changes, if it did drastically different aesthetic things throughout the stages, I would mention that. Or if there were different kinds of blocks that did different things, I would mention that. But so far as I can tell, there ain't.
Like I said, once again, we get a lot of simple games to review week in, week out. Not all the time. Oh, next review, kind of the opposite. But this is a fairly straightforward Sokoban clone. Like,
What's the price on this?
$1.
Oh yeah, that's easy. If you're into this kind of puzzle, sure, pick it up.
And
just don't expect it to be something you can do without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Unless you unless you have one of those things where you can like stare at a puzzle and just have it solve it visually and then execute.
Also worth noting, the amount of puzzles is 50.
Okay.
No. What seems to be a fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think fair is the word here. Like, it's not an astounding amount, and there's no, like, level editor.
Right.
So, no.
But yeah, I mean, it's the kind of game where when you mess up, you're going to be like, oh, crap, I messed up, probably almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll realize that, oh, crap, I'm going to need to push that thing back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to get to the other side now.
Mm. Right. Anyway, I guess that's about it for Reason Casual Puzzle here.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to tune in after the break as we'll be reviewing Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning.